Hello and welcome. You're with us here on Business Today. I'm Abha Bakaya. Here are the day's top stories. Investors take heed of what Prime Minister Narendra Modi had to say on stocks of government-run companies. 8 of 11 CPSE shares ended the green, even as markets see an all-around fall. Government to tweak PLI scheme for sectors which have underperformed, says course correction needed in some areas, set to release 13,000 crore rupees as incentives this year. Online gaming stocks like Nazara, Delta and OnMobile end in the red as Parliament okays the bill to impose 28% GST on the sector, new tax to be imposed from the 1st of October. One of the Kamath brothers who are behind the success of Zerodha reveals his plans to enter the gaming arena. Later in the show, listen in to what Nikhil Kamath had to say to BTTV. US President Joe Biden calls China economy a ticking time bomb as China faces its first deflation in 3 years, says China could trigger a global economic meltdown. BTTV tells you what it means for India. Equity investors seem to have taken Prime Minister Narendra Modi's message to heart. The Prime Minister, in his reply to the no-confidence motion debate in Lok Sabha yesterday, had taunted opposition claims about an alleged decline in government-owned enterprises, saying investors would reap a rich harvest if they invested in PSU shares. Listen in to what the Prime Minister had to say.
शेयर मार्केट में रुचि रखने वाले को भी ये गुरु मंत्र है कि जो सरकारी कंपनियों को ये लोग गाली देना, आप उसमें दांव लगा दीजिए साहब, अच्छा ही हो जाएगा.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi mentioned two stocks as well. Hindustan Aeronautics, he said, was once written off by Rahul Gandhi, only to have risen 234% in the past 5 years. The stock rose more than 2% today, but closed around 0.5% in the red. LIC was the other company mentioned by the Prime Minister. It rose more than 3% in trade. Business Today TV stocks editor Shailendra Bhatnagar spoke to a panel of experts on this issue this morning. Here's an excerpt.
Mayuresh, first to you. What are your two stock picks in the PSU sector which might outperform over the medium term? And I'll also request Sudeep to get ready with his picks technically in the PSU space. Mayuresh, first to you.
So one, we spoke about Bank of Maharashtra within the PSU banking space. Our take is that there is much more steam to go, so I'll not repeat on that. And the second one would be within the power space itself, Shell, sir. I think NTPC, I think any pullback should be taken as a buying opportunity. 2-3 things are happening here which is very, very interesting. I think the entire transition from thermal to renewables over the next few years, 2030 target of almost 130 gigawatts, half of which will be covered by renewables. Thermal will still continue its good run over the next few years.
Coming back to you, Mr. Shah, and your top bets from the PSU pack.
It would be NHPC, because what we've seen with NHPC, the stock has in the last few months it was consolidating. Even since October 2022, it was consolidating between say 38 and 45. But post that, when it has given a breakout, it has not yet moved too far. So I feel that from the current, if we speak from the current scenario, also there is a decent upside that is available in the stock. And the second pick would be BEL, Bharat Electronics Limited. Now we all know that how much of a push that the government is giving on the defense stocks and procuring the defense, and the defense industry is now on an up move.
Equity markets extended their fall for a second session today, dragged by pharma, healthcare, banking, financial and consumer goods stocks. Weak global cues also weighed on sentiments. Sensex was down 366 points, Nifty was down 115 points today. And top gainers today, HCL Tech, Power Grid, Titan, Tata Steel, Ultratech Cement, they held out in trade. On the downside, we had the likes of IndusInd Bank, SBI Life, UPL, Tata Consumers and Asian Paints. 17 months after retaking Air India from the government, the Tata Group has draped the Maharaja in new clothes. As part of its revamp of the legacy airline, the conglomerate has unveiled a new logo, new colours and a completely new livery for Air India. As part of its coverage of the story, Business Today TV also spoke to the man behind the revamp.
I get at least a couple of mails a day either criticizing or complimenting. But even in those criticisms that I receive, each and every one of them, short mail or long mail, there is a little amount of concern and hot. Can you not fix it? Can you not get it done faster? How can we keep going like this?
The Tata Group has responded with a massive revamp and rebranding exercise for the 90-year-old airline. The old Air India logo with the red swan and orange spokes inspired by Ashok Chakra has been replaced with a new livery of golden, red and purple colors. The new logo, reflecting the gold window frame, has been named the Vistara.
Well, as you see behind me, entering is the new identity of the modern Air India, as the Tata Group has announced. In fact, what we are awaiting from this Air India 2.0 is their new logo, Vistara, which represents the bold India. In fact, they've retained the iconic Indian household with a golden touch, with a palette of colors. There's red, there's aubergine and a gold touch, which represents the strength and depth of being an Indian.
Business Today TV caught up with Prasun Joshi, the CEO of McCann, which was given Air India's advertising and marketing mandate in June.
The fact that we want to learn from everything from the legacy, but at the same time we want to look forward, and that's the reason the window it felt like something which gives possibilities, which is hope, possibilities. You look out for more. And I think that's what has been the thinking behind, and it doesn't mean that we don't value legacy.
It is not just cosmetic changes that Air India is undergoing. The Tata Group is spending hundreds of millions of dollars on rebuilding the airline ground up. Deals have been cemented with airports around the world for access to first and business class lounges. The new Air India website and app went live about a week ago. What's planned soon is 24/7 helpline for passengers. The frequent flyer program is also being rejigged to offer passengers more benefits. The airline has opened an aviation academy to reskill its staff. A mega order of 500 aircraft has already been placed, of which the first Airbus A350S will join the fleet by December. The existing aircraft are being refitted at an expense of $400 million, an exercise which will take around 2.5 years. The new and refitted aircraft will be available with 1,700 hours of in-flight entertainment. Suspense, however, remains about the role of Vistara, with top airline sources saying that Vistara will continue as an independent entity supporting Air India. Discussions are reportedly underway to keep Vistara afloat as a sub-brand. Meanwhile, the airline has scorched speculation that the iconic Air India Maharaja, born in 1946 as the airline mascot, was being retired.
The rumours of his demise have been greatly exaggerated. The Maharaja will live on. Close to home, he'll remain our beloved, slightly portly ambassador of hospitality. Farther afield, he will signify a class and an elegance while drawing a unique thread from Air India's past into its future. And his values of service, warmth and hospitality will infuse the DNA of every Air Indian as we build this airline into a world-class global airline with an Indian heart, serving Indians and friends of India consistently to the very highest of standards.
With Karishma Sudani, Bureau Report, Business Today Television.
U.S. President Joe Biden has called China a ticking time bomb because of its economic challenges, adding that the troubles in China could lead to problems globally. The statement comes just a day after China announced a negative inflation in July, adding to indicators of a slowing economy. Business Today TV Managing Editor Siddharth Zarabi spoke to experts about the possible impact here in India. Listen in.
In the context of the latest move by President Joe Biden, the US has prohibited investment in sensitive technology. This focuses on semiconductor chips, on quantum computing, artificial intelligence, and also put on a approval list other tech funding. And this has meant that US private equity and venture fund investments into China are at an 8-year low. Now, in the broader scheme of things, specifically, we've also been trying our own efforts to boost manufacturing. We've seen some results. Do you actually see the fresh curbs resulting in a shift towards India, a further shift and significant investments in some of these sectors, or will this US money and interest go elsewhere in the world?
It is likely that India would be a big gainer in this process of the decoupling or de-risking that has been mentioned between United States and China. You did mention about the semiconductor ban, the chips ban to China in October last year, $130 billion ban on Huawei and ZTE Chongqing. Secondly, the second round of curbs that have been announced by the Biden administration. This is despite the visits of Blinken, Yellen, the Treasury Secretary, and Kissinger in quick succession in the last 2 months. Despite that, there has been no Chinese, plan B on this, and they continue with tariffs on American products as a part of the Trump administration policies in 2017 and 18. So the retaliatory tariff measures has vitiated the atmosphere between US and China, and it appears that there is no way back on that front.
The centre is tweaking some of the production-linked incentive schemes which have underperformed. Though the government has not identified these sectors, it has said that PLI schemes for sectors including medical devices, pharma, food processing, telecom, drones and white goods are doing well. The centre has also decided to increase the PLI dispersal this year to 13,000 crore rupees. For more on this, let's go across to Business Today economy editor Surbi, who's got all the details. Surbi, take us through what's on the agenda.
The centre today indicated that it's looking at restructuring some of the PLI schemes or production-linked incentive schemes in sectors where there has been undersubscription or lesser interest. If you recall, the scheme was introduced way back in 2020 for 14 sectors. DPIIT Secretary Rajesh Kumar Singh today informed that the government is looking to restructure some of the sectors where the PLI scheme has not worked, although he did not elaborate on this. But based on what is there in public knowledge, it seems that sectors such as textiles and ACC batteries, etc., have not done well. In fact, for the 20 gigawatt hour ACC batteries, the government has started a second round of bidding because there was not enough.
Secretariat will work together. We'll get an amendment to the CGST taken up at the earliest, hopefully even in this session. And when the question of when to implement it came, 1st October is when it is expected, by which time the states also will pass their amendments to their state laws.
What followed this announcement earlier this month was doomsday predictions, with online gaming associations saying the additional tax burden will destroy the $3.3 billion industry. In fact, one of the big players, Mobile Premier League, used the yet-to-be-imposed tax as a stick to fire 50% of its employees. But the industry has one cheerleader no one counted on. Nikhil Kamath, one half of the Kamath brothers, who revolutionized equity investing in India with their Zerodha platform. In an exclusive conversation with Business Today TV, the entrepreneur announced his plans for a big bang entry into the gaming industry.
Haven't made any large investments yet, but seeking opportunities, meeting prospective companies to partner, collaborate, invest in right now.
36-year-old entrepreneur also had some very good reasons why he's eyeing the gaming business.
Well, largely the rate of growth is very appealing. Gaming sector is growing significantly faster than other forms of content. But outside of that, the younger generation, I feel like people who are in their 20s now or teenagers, they seem a lot less enamored by old school content like I might have been in my generation. Interactive engagement with a feedback loop seems to be the way forward. So for many reasons, I'm bullish on gaming and esports.
He, however, made it clear that he was not looking at the gambling business.
To make the distinction that I'm not talking about gambling, but only gaming. I'm not talking about fantasy leagues and stuff like that.
Kamath also tweeted his plans for the gaming industry, calling it the next big thing for India. He included some hard figures as well. According to Kamath, the global gaming industry is double the size of the movie and the music industries combined. He added that in 2021 and 22, the share of games downloaded by Indians went up to 17% of the global downloads, with an average Indian gamer paying around 1700 rupees for online games. Further supporting his argument, Kamath said the Indian gaming industry directly employs around 150,000 people, and of these 30% are developers and programmers. Citing data from a third source, Kamath claimed the Indian gaming market is expected to grow at 27% per annum to reach $8.6 billion by financial year 2027, and that the prize pool of the esports industry is poised to outgrow the prize pool of IPL in the next 2 years. He did, however, agree that the 28% GST on the gaming industry will have some impact.
There seems to be some kind of clarification even there on GST, where it will apply on the total amount put in, but not on every transaction. To a certain extent, I feel this is still too high, and it would impact their revenues and may end up driving more business in the way of offline players. So it's probably not the best thing for the ecosystem. But my focus and my interest is more towards gaming. Like, I'm talking about things like Fortnite or Counter-Strike or FIFA or all the new kind of gaming that kids today on Discord are talking about.
Seen here attending a dinner at the White House during Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to the US in June, the entry of Nikhil and Nitin Kamath could disrupt the gaming industry like never before. Zerodha has already taken on and beaten industry giants at their own game, emerging as the biggest brokerage in the country in just 13 years of inception. With Bhavya Kaushal, Bureau Report, Business Today Television.
If you're planning a holiday during the extended Independence Day weekend, it could be a tad difficult for you. Not only have airlines done the usual and raised airfares to improbable levels, hotels have also taken advantage of the huge travel rush and hiked tariffs. The skyrocketing prices will be a nightmare for you if you haven't yet planned and booked your trip.
The white sands of Goa, the backwaters of the God's own country, the serene hill stations and river rafting in Uttarakhand, or even a temple run in Madhya Pradesh or Tamil Nadu. If you are planning to head to any of these locations and haven't booked your holiday yet, you are in trouble, because the festive season may not have begun for you, but it has already started for airline and hoteliers. The 4-day extended Independence Day weekend is a perfect launch pad for this tourism festive season. According to some reports, travel demand for these 4 days is more than 2.5 times more than it was last year. And this rise in demand is accompanied with a corresponding rise in airfares in hotel tariffs. Rooms are priced much higher than they were last year, some estimates say as much as 20% higher. Last-minute holiday planners are shelling out at least 20,000 rupees to spend a single night at 5-star resorts. The popular Taj Lake Palace in Udaipur is charging 1.8 lakh rupees for 3 nights. The Taj-owned Rambagh in Jaipur is charging 5.9 lakh rupees for 4 nights. The Fairmount Hotel in Udaipur is charging 20,000 per night for rooms with rack rates of 5 to 15,000 rupees on regular days. The Acker Group Raffles is already sold out. It's not only the hotel rooms which are costing more, even airfares are surging. For departure on Saturday and return on Tuesday, the return airfare from Delhi to Goa and Delhi to Jaipur is around 22,000 rupees. Delhi to Srinagar and Delhi to Kolkata will set you back by 12,500 rupees. Flights from Bengaluru to Delhi and back are up as much as 27,000 rupees. Chennai to Delhi is also much higher than usual, while Delhi to Udaipur return airfares have surged up to 30,000 rupees. Beyond top Indian cities, destinations that have registered the highest number of hotel bookings include Panjim, Jaipur, Coimbatore, Nashik, Amritsar, Khopoli, Mahabaleshwar and Agra. According to Clear Trip, luxury hotels are trending 25% above their usual rate for the weekend, and at an aggregate level, 5-star hotels are reporting 85 to 89% occupancy. Bureau Report, Business Today Television.
That's it for the show tonight. Thanks so much for watching.